spawned about 60 seconds ago. Wee lick of paint, go on, is that going to shot? Yep. Got a wee party of cows following me this morning. Morning, Holly. There we are, we can. What a bee. That's the lorry done. Yeah, we're stuck. Sheep next. Checking on the calves and also bringing out the quad bike just so they get used to it a bit. Calves obviously never been around the quad bike, and the new cows we got last year, they've never been around the quad bike, so they're all looking well, seem happy enough. That cow over there in the distance, she's the one that had twins, so I wanted to get her in the grass because I think she'll probably produce better quality and more milk, and just to service those two calves, especially as they're growing, they'll take more and more all the time. See the stripes in that field? Don't know if you can make them out, but Dad was rolling that yesterday. It's a field of wheat, didn't get rolled in the back end, so Dad rolled it yesterday. This end jug was far too wet, so we didn't bother trying to sow it. So that's Big Holly, had a calf. Lovely wee calf, well, a lovely big calf actually. Courtesy of Holly and Percy. Holly and Percy are pretty infamous on the channel, so that's an infamous calf. Hey Beast, what will we call you? Boris? Just about to send away BVD tissue samples. So that's a pile of the vials that were in the ear tags when we tagged the animals, the calves. So in there is a tiny wee section of the calf's lug. Those wee balls are just to soak up any moisture and keep it from going off as quick. So I've got this sheet to fill in with the calf's tag numbers, the BVD vial associated with it, and then they all get tested for BVD and hopefully they all come back negative. Right, we're jumping in the rollers now. The door's steamed up, I wonder why. That's why. Huh? Just rolling this field of oats, just tucking in to a globe win sausage roll. What a piece of kit that is. In a field of wheat here, you can see the difference between that patch and this patch. So the streaks through the middle where it changes colour. That's two different varieties of wheat. I can't remember which is which, but it'll be Saki and Ixtay. Two different varieties of wheat. So that's where the colour change, you can see the difference in variety, totally. And height, this is growing kind of a bit thinner but taller, and that one's a bit thicker and shorter at the moment. Lulu versus some hares. She's got no chance. She's given up on that one. She's turned around, she's going for this one. Go on dog. Hare, dog. Hare, dog. She's going to be goose after this. The damn light rollers! You probably can't hear me. No GPS today. Dunk's back, so thought I'd let him have his tractor back. Anyway, the T7-200, this is actually the one that's getting traded in when the Fendt comes, so I'll swap over to Kev's tractor in April, May time. It's going fine, there's not really too much to show you. Set of rollers in the back, simple stuff, just rolling it down, levelling it off a bit, pushing any stones into the ground, and so they're not sticking up so the combine doesn't hit them and bounce off them or pick them up. Also, as it's going to get drier, just solidifying the surface locks the moisture in a wee bit more, so less chance of any drought, which isn't a huge issue for us, drought anyway, but it's just another thing to be precautious about. It's known what to do with the crops this year because production costs are really expensive, and like the diesel we're using at the moment is very expensive, but we're putting so much value into the crops, why wouldn't we keep putting more value into to protect the value we've already put into them? Like the fert we've put on it, it's all very expensive. Doing this and other bits and bobs just to ensure that the crop's got the best chance it's got, so that there's less risk that nitrogen goes to waste. But at the same time, this costs more than it normally would. There's a lot of different ways to look at it. We're just going for the crack on exactly the same as we did before. Look after the crop. We've always looked after it fairly well. Hopefully the prices are there come harvest time to make it all worthwhile. But a bit of a scary time, isn't it? No GPS, so I'm having to use this circular thing, and my accuracy's gone from 2 centimetres to somewhere in the region of 1 metre. Getting over it now. This is the kilometre-long field, so it's taking its time. I've maybe done 18 hectares of that, and then that big field of oats over there is finished. Dad did half of that, I've just finished the other half of it. Rain's been threatening for a while, but it's not come to anything. Stripes are quite satisfying, aren't they? I think they are anyway. It's an absolute belter of a field of wheat. I think it's 105 acres. It's over 100 anyway. There you go, question of the day. What make of car is that? She's an absolute weapon. Wee lick of paint, come on, is that gonna shut? Yep, sweet as a nut. It's getting dark and gloomy. Come on, dog. Came with the farm, that car. It's been sat there ever since we've had the farm anyway. There's actually two. Come back to that one. Yeah, really missing the GPS now. Hold on. Subscribe. If you've not liked the video yet, go click like. See if we can get it up to 1,000 likes. The rain has come. You can see I'm making a, not a mess, but getting a bit sticky, and it binds to the roller, and then you disturb the soil, and so I'm just going to fold them up once I get to the end here, go and fill up with diesel, and then call it a day at that. Back up, and it's just too sticky. Starting to damage the crop, if anything. No benefit to doing any work in this. Kev's sowing just over the back there. He's just gone behind that tree. Dunk's up there disking as well, so getting on fine, I think. So probably got about maybe just shy of 30 hectares of barley sown. There's still another 80 hectares to go in, and then we've got oats on top of that, and there'll be how many hectares of oats? 35, 34, I just checked. Thousands of different varieties to choose from. We're part of Scottish Agronomy, who do trials, so they have wee plots of loads of different varieties. They try all different things on them, different types of chemicals, different application rates, different application times. They've got a few different sites, so it's different soil types. So they do all the kind of trials and everything, and then we pay to use the data basically. Loads of different characteristics to take into account when you're picking a variety. So the main concerns are cleanliness, so that's like its resistance to disease. Stiffness, so when it's growing you want to be stiff, you don't want it to be kind of floppy and fall over and couch. So stiffness, that's another one, obviously a big one. Yield, massive one. It also has to be desirable for consumers. So when we're growing malting barley, there's types of barley that the maltsters don't really like, so try and avoid them. Stick to ones they do like. That's the general characteristics we're looking for when we're picking varieties to grow on the farm. Anyway, job done. There's a cow just starting to calve, so by the time we get back there'll either be a calf on the ground or thereabouts. Update in here, roof joists are in. Well, a lot of them. Still this wee section to do. All back there's all done, all up here's done, all along that corridor's done, so progress, just that section to do, then it's all to be sheeted. Another wee calf just been born, perfect. What are you? You're 603 is the cow. That's just for my own memory for writing it down. Nice big calf, it's a Simmental. Just born about 60 seconds ago. Perfect timing, I've got football in 10 minutes, so smashing. Thank you very much, cow, for doing that. It's another wee bull calf, by the way. Of the 20 odd calves we've had 16 bull calves. Its tongue's already going, trying to figure out how to sook. Go on. Unbelievable. Mother's doing a perfect job, licking it clean, licking the moisture off it, so it can start to dry off. Because if it stays damp and wet, it can get cool. So Mother's doing a perfect job. Also, the licking stimulates it and just gets it moving and gets all its muscles moving and gets it going. What a job, smashing. Will you dare to